Welcome back at 34 minutes past the hour now. The debate over spending cuts heating up. A Democratic member of that super committee that failed to reach a deal on deficit reduction, accusing Republicans of trying to, quote, weasel out, his words, weasel out the automatic cuts for the Pentagon. Meanwhile, the top Republican on the other side just releasing a video detailing what those cuts would mean for the military.
We will no longer be able to respond to a variety of threats. We'll have to get to a size that is small enough where I believe, as I said earlier, we might lose our credibility in terms of our ability to deter.
We therefore join Secretary Panetta and Chairman Dempsey in advising against across-the-board cuts.
It goes from there, and California Congressman Buck McKeon, chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, is leading the charge to try and make sure the cuts don't happen. Sir, how you doing? And good morning to you.
Great, Bill. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate your time, and I don't know what your strategy is here because Democrats are going after you and some others. Congressman Becerra said you're trying to weasel out of this. What do you say to the congressman?
Well, if he had done his job and if they'd been successful, we wouldn't have to worry about it. You know, I think the one thing that the American people need to know is we do have a serious problem. We have a serious financial problem. But we can't solve that problem on the backs of our military, or who's going to have our backs the next time we do have a problem, the next time somebody attacks us. I think if people understood that out of our total budget, 20% of it goes to defending the country, and out of that first tranche of cuts that we had, you know, we said everything should be on the table, defense should be on the table. I understand that, but defense was half the table. We cut almost $500 billion out of defense.
And some are arguing that that's what Democrats wanted in the beginning. But this series of videos now out, you talk about irreversible damage. How so?
Well, the $500 billion cut is before the super committee. That was already done. That will take place in the next budget cycle. So we'll be cutting about $50 billion a year over the next 10 years. Then you add the sequestration on top of that, it adds about another $600 billion cuts to defense. So you're looking going forward of about, if this were allowed to happen, about $100 billion a year cut out of the defense budget.
What do you think what do you think is the best card you have to play then? Because the House Speaker, John Boehner, has said, you know, we got to forge ahead with our commitment. President Obama, you know, he's got that veto threat in case any of this is reversed. What did you pull out of your pocket there?
A card. I just happen to have a card. You said the best card. When I went to Congress about 19 years ago, we had 172 Army battalions, maneuver battalions. If this super committee, because of the failure, the sequestration kicks in, that would be cut to between 60 and 70. We had 546 Navy ships. It would go down to 238. Smallest Navy since before World War I. United States Air Force fighters, 4,355. It would be down to 1,512. Strategic bombers, 282, down to 101. I think that's a very good card to play when you look at the world is not exactly safer.
I think you make a compelling argument. Where do you cut a deal to make sure that doesn't happen?
Well, right now, everybody's focused on just getting out of town, doing all of the other things that are just necessary that have to be done before December 16th. And myself, I'm really focused on getting our defense authorization bill done. It's on the Senate floor today, should be finished up tonight, and we'll go into full bore on the conference report. We want to get that done before December 16th.
Time is of the essence. Go ahead. I'll let you get your last point in there, sir.
I think when we come back after the holidays, we're going to really bore in on this, because as we go through the budget cycle, people say we don't have to worry. It doesn't kick in till a year from January. Well, the budget cycle starts December or October 1st of next year.
Yes.
So if they're not thinking about it and planning for it, it could be catastrophic.
We're going to keep in touch with you in your office and see which way this goes. Sir, thank you for your time. Bill. It's an honor to have you on. Buck McKeon from Capitol Hill.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.